Sean Willis, thank you very much for joining us to talk about unconventionals in Brazil. Sean, tell me about the potential for unconventionals and shale gas in Brazil.
Brazil is one of the opportunities that does not commonly hit the headlines for several reasons. One is because it isn't quite the scale of Argentina, and it's not quite as sexy as Colombia right now. And it's also a little bit dwarfed by the deep offshore pre-salt fields. However, Brazil is a real unconventional opportunity, and Petrobras is working hard at developing its unconventional capability, and in fact has recently established a business specifically to deal with developing unconventional resources in Brazil domestically.
For its counterparts in Latin America, like Argentina you mentioned, for the major operators and where the technical expertise is going to come from, how much of a priority is Brazil seen as in terms of what it represents?
I think, I believe Ali Bashiri, Chevron's president of LATAM, Africa and Latin America, when a while ago he said there is not one country in Africa, not one, that we are not looking at. And I think the same is true. The fact that it doesn't make the headlines does not mean this is not on the radar screen of the large super majors, the likes of Chevron, the likes of Exxon, the likes of Royal Dutch Shell. This is very definitely on their radar screens, but it's not very public. I think something else to be aware of is the nature of the gas in Brazil means there's an opportunity for developing small-scale modular GTL to monetize that gas. The distances and the infrastructure being so large means that I believe that it's an opportunity for modular GTL developing some of that tight gas and stranded gas.
And what, given widely publicized areas where there is a lot of exploration and production going on, what are the timelines that we're looking at for things to really, kick off in Brazil?
Timelines are always difficult. Media seek headlines, they seek a time frame, and often national state oil companies tend to commit to production too early. I think we're looking at something like probably 2 years before we have a reasonable estimate of how much is recoverable and what the time frame is going to be. I think beyond that, we'll have a more specific deadline as to what the opportunity is.
Brilliant. Sean Willis, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.